All right, welcome back to the channel. Today we are changing strings on an acoustic guitar. The process is going to be the same for almost any guitar. I don't have the right strings, but these are the ones I'm going to use. They'll do for now until I can get a better set. To make life easy, you're going to need a tuning tool, a peg winder, and this pretty much goes on the tuning peg. Goes on the tuning peg, and it helps you spin it faster instead of just cranking it by your hand. So this is going to help and cut down your string changing time by a lot. Next thing you're going to need is a rag of some kind. Once you get strings off, you're going to want to start just wiping the dirt down. I do minimal cleaning, so I don't treat it with anything. Just wipe the dirt off from beneath the strings wherever you can reach when the strings are on. So let's get started. Step one, I like to work in pairs, so I will take 2 strings off at a time. So I go here on my 6th string, unwind it, and once it's pretty much easy to come off, pop that off. And at the bottom, it's just threaded through, so push it out. There you go. That's gonna be a little tight there at the end. And one way you can tell, let me see if this is gonna focus here. One way you can tell, can you see the discoloration of that? How it's supposed to be a nice bright copper and then it turns just brown. If you see that on any part of your strings, you're usually going to see that around here where you tend to play the most. If you solo up here, maybe some higher chords. But if you see this discoloration on any part of your string, it's pretty much time to change them out. So let's swap them out. And now I'm going to take off the 5th string, so same thing. Now once you get 2 out, you can go in. Once you get 2 out, you can go in and start cleaning under where those strings were, all the way up the neck, the headboard here. Just cleaning around the tuners, all the way up and down, and you're done. And you get your new strings. So you pop them open and you start with the 2 lowest ones, which is going to be 46 and 36. So I'll leave that to the side. So 46 is my low string, and I'm just going to thread that through. So go to the bottom here. See it coming up through there. Wiggle it through. Wiggle it through. Alright. Pull it till the ring gets snug here at the bottom. And what I like to do this 5-finger space, or this 4-finger space. I have a big hand, so that's about, I don't know, 4 inches maybe. But that's the amount of slack that I put on my head. So let me see if I can get this lifted here with my foot. So I put the 4 fingers. So check it out. I got my 4 fingers in there, kind of giving me that slack. It ends up being about, let me see. Doesn't look like much over here on this side, but here, if I do that, measure it. If I were to give it a number, I would say give it about 1.5 inches extra. So right now the string is all taut. 1.5 inches extra, pull it back, and then twist it out. And once you got that twist in it, you can start tightening. And you just got to make sure that this coil, the wrap, is going to be going this way around the post. And then just keep the string down tight. Don't let it move around too much. And the excess, make sure it sticks up this way so that the wrap can happen underneath. And when you wrap it, it'll get tighter and tighter. And then when you're at the end of it, you should have about 2 to 3 coils. I should have about, you see right on my post here, right there. Can you see that? I have two turns around it, and that's what you want. So once that's solid, you can leave that to whatever note, and we get to our next string. And again, I'm gonna want to give about 1.5 to 2 inches. And the lighter string you move to, I would give it a little more. Probably by the time you're at the first string, I'd probably give it about, I don't know, what is that, 3 inches extra. So, but on the lower strings, about 1.5 inches. So I would feed it through. Feed it through. I can do my 4-finger check. 4-finger check here at the bottom. Here's my 4 fingers kind of spacing it out. Fingers are shut. And then right around that mark, I'm gonna kink it just to get that bend, and that's gonna help me get into the wrap. So I just start wrapping it. And we tune it later. But then we take off our next 2 strings, so my 4th string.
Unwind that, till it's all the way straight, and I can just pull it out.
And I actually like to do a special knot here. So here's, let me see if I can show you this. So I make the post, make the kink, but I'm gonna go inside, right? So I'm going inside with the kink. I'm gonna go over and under the string. I don't know if you're gonna get this, and then back. And as I pull it back, you're gonna get that kind of thing happening in there. I don't know if it's gonna be able to zoom in on it so you can get that. But what happens is now when you wrap it, the string's gonna wrap down on itself. Sorry, right there. String's gonna wrap down on itself and tighten, and it pretty much becomes your own string locker. So once you get that down, get your tuning, your peg tool, and start cranking it. You're gonna see, just make sure that again that the winding goes down and not up too much. And I just put my finger there and just wrap and wrap. And again, with all these, you should have at least 2 windings on the post. And I'm just gonna give an estimate. Dot at this end. And we go down to the bridge, put it on the 3rd string spot. No obstructions. Come back down. Again, I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put in my 4-finger space here. I'm gonna kink it towards the inside. So when I say inside, I mean inside of the head this way. And then I'm gonna go over. Let's see if you can see this. Over, under, and back. So I create a little loop on itself. And now this, when I wind it up, is gonna tighten down on itself. Let's see. Where are we at?
Yep, that's the right way. And keep winding. Just make sure your winds go in the downward direction of the post. And this one, yeah, that's good. And as it sets, you can try to give it a quick tuning. Bow, bow, bow. That's close to G. And now I'm just down to my last 2. Same process.
Rag, just wipe down the areas you're not able to get when the strings are in.
And I got to the top, right down, around the post. Around the post. That feels good. String number 2 is gauge 13. I haven't been saying the strings, but hopefully it's been coming out of the video. Down at the bottom, same thing. Space. Go up, go down. Like an artistic close. last string. I want this was 10. Start at the bottom. Top. Well, I'm gonna have to make do. Top. We gotta wrap, loop it in, come over, come under. Now with that, give it a wind. Here.
I'm just gonna match this by ear. So once you get that, we now get your trusty tuner, whatever you use. You just go in and tune it up. E, A, G. There's our B. And then now here's what I like to do to kind of help get the tuning settled in quicker. I like to stretch the string. So what I do is grab each string right from the sound hole in the middle, 5th fret, doesn't matter where, and I just give it a good pull like that, just to give it a little stretch, because it's gonna stretch over the course of the next couple days. But I'd rather try to minimize that so I'm not constantly tuning. And I'll do that to every string. Just give it a couple pulls. You could actually pick up the guitar by the string. People are like, oh, I don't want to break it. And it's like, oh, they're pretty strong. I probably wouldn't do it in the first one, but from the third one down, they're strong. And I go back to tuning, and I tune it one last time. Starting with an E. There's a G. The B. There's an E. Final touch up. Final tune up here. And let's give it a little play to see what it sounds like.